Good afternoon, this is Andy from Vehicle Fits. This is a demonstration of what we've done to this van. This is the Starline S96 alarm system. It's installed by Vehicle Fit in the West Midlands, 07900 60 50 40. So this alarm, as you may have seen on my other videos, is very customisable. We've also fitted a Replock to the driver's door, which stops the vehicle locks being attacked, which is a big problem on the Transit Custom. We've also fitted a high position deadlock, and we've just fitted that, just if you can see when we arm that, there's zero movement on there whatsoever. So when you do pull it and you forget to unlock it, it will jam the door a bit. But if you are having locks fitted, or you've had them fitted, just make sure that when the door is pulled, that this, the door doesn't pop open half an inch to an inch. So it's all down to lining up the keeps. So this is a hook lock system, and the customer had ply lining fitted, so we've had to trim the lock case, trim the ply to fit around the lock case. Very shiny, very nice paint scheme. Again, we've had to take off all this ply to get this keep seated, and the keep is aligned up to within half a mil. Just means that there's no movement in the door when the door is attempted. So that's the rear high position. On the side, this is the high position lock. As you can see, very shiny van. Make sure there's no kinks in the door afterwards, no markings. The lock cylinder itself does sit on a slight angle. That's just simply because of the door skin inside does sit slightly. So this, just rubbing, that's how I fitted it. That's not me being lazy. It just takes a bit of pressure, and what that's doing is when you lock it, it's just pulling that door in that last mil. And of course, when you then try and open it, you don't get any movement at all. So again, the door isn't going to pop open half an inch to an inch. But I've seen this a lot of times with lock fitters. I'm not naming names, but getting the lock in is, the hard part. Making sure the door isn't kinked or creased. Again, this is a glass finish, brand new 70 plate van. Making sure the door skin isn't creased is part of the problem. It's not just about fitting, getting them in, you've got to get them in tight, you've got to get them nice. And that's the keep there. This is just a bit of wax oil that we fitted. No swarf, no rust, no filings, everything's been cleaned down and treated. We've also fitted, as part of the alarm, the Cobra 5462 proximity sensor. I'll show you that in a minute. This might be quite a long video. So that's the keep for the lock. This is the lock itself. It's a hook bolt again, nicely seated. So I'll show you the tolerance on that lock again. If you are getting your locks fitted, make sure that this side door isn't creased. It's very easy to crease that side door, especially if you're using cone cutters. We use arbors, Starline arbors, to cut the door. So I'll show you that again. Door shuts. Now the way I've lined it in is so actually when the lock goes in at the top, it's like the keep is on a slight angle. What this does is, as it drops in, as you turn the lock, it just applies a bit of pressure to pull the door in, which, as you can see, I'll open it again, doesn't give any movement whatsoever, and the door will jam a little bit. So I'll just put a bit of pressure on. So that's the deadlocks fitted. These are T-series keys, dual-sided dimple. So that's the locks fitted. I'm always paranoid about shutting side doors in case. It's happened. I was fitting some locks and the customer came out and was messing with the lock. I came back to the lock, slammed the door and dented his door. It wasn't my fault because I didn't engage the lock, the customer had done it, and he'd left me with a £400 bill, which I agreed to pay, even though it wasn't my fault. But I shut the door, so I caused the damage, even though it wasn't my fault, the lock was out. So the Replock in the front will lock the van, it will deadlock the van, but it won't unlock the van. As you can see, there's no central locking happening at the moment. That's just a Ford security patch that's been applied to these vans for a long while. So yeah, that's the lock system. That's I call that the bronze package, which is Replock, rear deadlock in a high position. It's either high or middle. It either goes there, 65mm in, 62mm for the top and bottom rivets, or it goes high, 200 by 70mm. Either way, same price. The top lock just cost me a couple of quid more, but it's down to your choice whether you want the door strengthened in the middle or at the top, or you can fit both. What else have we done? We've done the Starline S96 alarm system. So this is a great system for these Fords. We do a lot of them. How this works is the alarm's off the factory key, and what I've also done is linked it into the wing mirrors. So, hang on, I'll disarm the alarm first. Let's just go through the proper process. Shut the door, get out, lock the van, and then 2 seconds later the wing mirrors fold in, and everyone's going, yeah, I've seen that before, boring. Yeah, but they don't fold out again, and they don't fold back out again when you lock the van. So this isn't just any wing mirror folding, this is vehicle fit wing mirror folding. Lock, unlock, nothing's happening. Open the door, close the door, arm it again. Are they going to fold? Nope, they're not going to fold. They're going to be ignored until the van starts up. So I've been doing wing mirror folding for a while. It's been the bane of my life. There's so many ways to do it, so many ways to mess it up. So the way I've done this is when you turn the ignition on and then start the vehicle. Oh, I'm trying to film. After you start the vehicle, that's when they fold out again. So the way I've done it before was when you turn the engine off, they folded in. I've changed my mind about that. Turn it off, they stay out. So if you are just moving the van around site, so you unlock the van, get in, start it up, they fold out. They won't fold again now. So that's engine starting. So if you're moving the van around, starting it up, manoeuvring it, working out the back of the van, leaving it open, they're going to stay open. If you want to fold them, you've got to arm the van, and then they fold back in again. And again, they won't unfold until, what's going to focus? They won't unfold again. So locking the van, unlocking it, nothing's happening until you drive away and start the engine. Sorry, they fold back out again. So yeah, that's mirror folding, another method which I don't think anyone's done yet. Let me know if they have. I'm going to lay claim to this being unique method of doing it. So Starline S96 comes with dual stage shock sensor. We fit a nice bright blue LED in the middle, which will, at night will actually light the whole cab up. It comes with dual stage shock sensor. It comes with Bluetooth slave control, so the system relies on Bluetooth tags to authorise it. It's got a SIM card in there, engine blocking via CAN bus, tracking app, smart diagnostics, keyless, scan, smart 3D sensor, pin code, super slave. Have a read up on it online. So the alarm comes with a dual stage shock sensor. So at the moment it's I've set this fairly sensitive. So on a light impact you get indicator flash, you get your smartphone will buzz just to let you know it's been triggered in the light mode, and it just gives a little 3 chirps just to let you know someone's had an impact. It's also got a tilt sensor on there, so if anyone's jacking the vehicle up for the alloys, after a couple of degrees it will trigger. So what I'm going to do now is simulate a break-in and show you the actual engine blocking, which is done in 2 ways: CAN bus blocking and a normally open relay block, which is a physical cut as well, which will wipe out the ignition, and it's wired up in a normally open configuration. So if anyone does start to strip down the alarm and attack it, and pulls the power or whatever, it's going to stay immobilised. So what I'll do now is I'll simulate a break-in. If somebody was to force the lock and open the van and try and start it, I'll show you. So that's forward system going off, Starline system off, the horn honk will start in a minute, and the ignition won't come on. We'll just turn that off, it's quite a racket. So yeah, that's got CAN blocking, engine blocking via normally open relay, and this is all authorised with 2 Bluetooth tags. Well, sorry, there are 2, only needs 1, and or a smartphone to authorise it. So yep, I'm going to ring off because the customer's just rocked up, so I'm going to yeah, that's basically all you need to know about the Starline system. Thanks for watching. It's Andy from Vehicle Fit. Cheers.